Hello and welcome to another live community stream. My name is Chuck Tomasi from ServiceNow. This is Friday, January 12th, 2018. The months and years are going by so fast I have to think about that. It's crazy. Welcome and happy Friday to you. I hope you enjoy this. As I mentioned, my name is Chuck Tomasi. I've been with ServiceNow, been on the platform for about 10 years as a customer and implementation and lots of other roles at ServiceNow. So if this is your first time watching, thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you being here. If you're watching this live on YouTube, I encourage you to go over to YouTube and put your name in the chat. I'll give you a shout out. Let me know how you're doing, what the weather's like, maybe even what time it is. If you're watching this much later, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. I'm kind of in the way of the URL. Let me get out of the way. There we go. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and you'll get notified whenever we have new videos. We are also on Twitch, live streaming this on Twitch, but you can watch it there later as well. Look forward to seeing you there. Put your name in the comments. I'm going to keep that up. Let me get rid of the ad that's in my chat area. Kind of squashing that down to nothing. My objective today is to go through the ServiceNow community that you see up there and go through. I don't know what I'm going to get. I've got stuff in my inbox that has been responded overnight while I was getting a little bit of sleep. I have stuff that has been collecting while I wasn't watching. It could be anything. My specialty of area is on the platform, custom applications, integrations. I'll try to answer other questions or steer them in the right direction, and we'll see what we can get. This is a fun way of doing customer support. If you do have a question, please post it on the community over at community.servicenow.com. If you post it in the chat on YouTube or Twitch, no one's going to be able to find it later. That's the beauty of having a system of record. So let me get started, just checking all the particulars, make sure that we are broadcasting and we are online. Did I miss anything? I'll get the rest later. So let's go to full screen and get started with the fun. Do a quick refresh of the community screen. I am at community.servicenow.com and I have clicked unanswered. I like to see what's in the queue that nobody has touched yet. If you do have a question and you post it there, make sure you put it in the right space. This one is in the Now Platform space if it's a platform-related question. If it's something related to reporting and performance analytics, there is a place for that. If you can't get into your personal developer instance, which I'll tell you about in a little bit, I am using one today, go to Instance Help. Putting it in the right space, make sure that the right people with the right expertise can answer that. Not everybody knows everybody. In fact, I'd be surprised if I found anybody who knows everything about ServiceNow. I do apologize for not having a broadcast yesterday. Personal things got in the way and I was unable to do that. So, as I mentioned, I do this every day out of the goodness of my heart. It's fun to do. I love talking to you. I hope you get something out of it, because this isn't just how I get answers to you. It's how I find out what I need to give you answers. And sometimes there's narrative on these videos that's not in the community. I don't have time to type all of my thoughts, but I can certainly ratchet them out quickly here. For whatever reason, YouTube still says there's one person watching. Let me bring that up again. Or one person waiting. That's even crazier than one person watching. Bring that up, and one person watching now. Excellent. That's better. Probably just forgot to refresh the screen. Workflow and service catalogs. Let's take a look at that one. I'm just going to queue up a few of these. Update notes field when related records are added and created. Apologize for the little beeping you hear every once in a while. I do have a new phone, and I'm just learning how to turn the alerts on and off. So you might hear a few extra alerts. I don't think I went into YouTube yet. Oh yeah, I got a YouTube alert. Good, that works. I haven't gone into Twitter. I haven't gone into most of the applications. I just downloaded them all, and I'm working on the data migration. How to import bulk attachments in incident table. Let's see what that one's about. Qualys vulnerability integration. That's more of a security issue and the developer question, but it is integration, so probably belongs there. How to send email body as an attachment as PDF file. Wow, there are some challenging ones on a Friday today. Is there a way to download, export multiple knowledge articles, such as in a knowledge articles by category? Curious what the use case is there. I would like to edit the custom filter of Cab Workbench. How can I? That should probably go in change management or ITSM or somewhere in there, even though it may be developer related. Unable to update requested for field on SC request. That one looks like it's pretty well underway. We get 2 replies to that. Stuck with coding part, please help. These are always interesting because they could turn into, it really depends on how much the other person, the person asking this question, knows about scripting. Is it just a question about the API, or are they looking for free professional services? Adding customer signatures in email notification script. That I covered way back. Mail. Tech Now. Wow. I should know the episode of this one. This is not one of the more commonly referenced ones. I think it's 12. No, 12 was relationships. Mail headers, 11. Okay. Let's start from the back and go forward. I'm doing a stack, not a queue. Trying to add custom notifications for each companies in our group. I've got various statements running the notification script identifying when you can send. The logic looks like this. Custom table, query field value, query if you get a record, get the signature, get value. I don't know how to return this value into the body of the email. Everything I tried just so far copies template I print multiple times. Clarity of the signature looks a more complex version of da 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 da. You should be able to put that in the template script. Where are you putting that? Template.print works out of create notification email script looks like if condition 1, da 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 da, create notifications. Note the space between mail script and mail script name. No space. Yeah, they're doing all right. You can do that. I like that answer. How come that showed up as unanswered on my list? I just... Oh, it wasn't unanswered. I clicked it. It's going to be one of those days. Okay, let's take a look at some of these other ones. Can't guarantee that I know all the answers. I at least like looking at them. Many of them I will subscribe to or follow so that I can learn from them. And I encourage you to do the same. Like that opening screen says, learn, share, help. Okay, so my query is in workflow, and I have 2 below levels of approval. 1, line manager approval. 2, group approval. 3, raise a task into the procurement team. Note, designed till this point. Now, the procurement team, not assigned to anyone specifically, should ask them to purchase license key for new catalog items. This task must contain details of the software requested and business justification. How? The procurement team will purchase the license and update the task with 3 pieces of information: license key, license terms, and description. The task must ask for those fields specifically. How I would do it? This sounds very specific to your requirement. I would create a new table to hold that information and make sure it has a parent field. That points to the parent record so you can reference it / attach it. Make those fields mandatory, and away you go. It's up to you. Up to you if you want to extend the task table or not. If these are being assigned to somebody, you might want to look, you might want to consider extending task. Ta-da! Make a table for it. Reference it. Need to import bulk attachments in it. Need to import bulk attachments in incident table. Okay, can you provide a little information? What specifically is the use case? How do you know which incidents get which attachments? Where are the files now? There is a REST API that you may be able to use. Let's give a reference. Reference to the documentation is always helpful. The REST API attachment. REST API roles, Perl API attachment. No, REST API. Here we go. REST API Explorer, examples, version, security, response codes, dot walking, debugging. There's a version, that's a table. I'm gonna have them start there. Even though I can't find a specific one, I get them started. You might also find the REST API Explorer helpful. Helpful for getting started with a third-party integration. That, I believe, was on the same page, was it not? Yes, it was. Copy link address, go over here, paste it, and post it. Good morning, and welcome to, or welcome back to, the live community stream. I'm Chuck Tomasi, here to help you, or try to help you, depending on how the case goes. How to send email body as an attachment as PDF. As per requirement, I need to convert the email body to PDF file and add it as attachment to the email. I searched the topic in community but did not get any helpful links. What's the use case behind this? I really would not, personally, I would not like to see that, but attachments are just harder to manage, harder to search. Before diving into a customization like this, implying it's not available on a box, find out what the business use case is and why, i.e. why somebody wants to do this. Personally, I find attachments only helpful if they provide some referenceable information. Reference, I can't spell it today. Referenceable? Is that even a word? No. Reference information that is not already available in the record somewhere else. Find out if they accept the cost of building, maintaining, and testing for each upgrade to understand the true cost of this requirement. Only you know that. If they accept, then engage some professional services to build it. Make sure they leave you with a way to test it. Not saying whether or not it can be done, I'm just saying, should it be done? Very careful thing you need to ask yourself. As a developer, don't take requirements as a blind requirement. In fact, somebody may just be asking, hey, can this be done? And I applaud you for asking the community, can it be done? If there's a way, we'll let you know, or we'll try to let you know, or we'll steer you to somebody who may know. If there isn't, there's two options. Well, one option, put in an enhancement request. But if there is a way, and it comes down to customization where you're writing code to make it happen, then please tell the person who's making the requirement there is a cost to this. Just because it can be done doesn't mean it must be done. They need to understand, because what's going to happen is if everybody got every requirement they put on a requirements list, you're going to wind up with a crazy system, and no one is going to like it in a couple of years. I guarantee I've seen this over and over and over again. I've heard end users say, oh, we don't really like ServiceNow. And I say, well, why is that? And to boil the answer down, it comes down to somebody customized the explicative out of it, and they just went blindly into, well, we need this and we need this and we need this and we need this, so just go develop it and make it happen. When they didn't stand back and take a look at the process and what they could do, what they should do, that's where ServiceNow can help in lending guidance to what you can do, what you should do, what you need to do, that kind of thing. Engage us in that conversation so that we can help you get there. Don't just put on the blinders and say, I've got 400 stories to develop because people put in these requirements and I'm going to knock them down at 50 a day and be the best developer there is. That's not what being the best developer means. The best developer means putting on some lenses to filter some of that stuff, to understand what it takes and feed that back to the business organization. And I think I've said this almost every day I've had this stream. So hopefully the message is getting through eventually. That's the value of watching this versus just reading them on the community, I suppose, if that's what you get. Okay. Is there a way to download, export multiple knowledge articles, such as knowledge articles by category? We'd like to share some knowledge articles content with non-ServiceNow users who aren't part of our company and don't have user accounts in ServiceNow. Is there a way to do a mass download export of knowledge articles such that all knowledge articles under a certain category? I thought there was a way to make certain knowledge articles public, and you don't need, because we do that on high. Let's find out. So sign on, create a knowledge article, knowledge article templates, knowledge article states, unsubscribe, subscribe, problems, version information, not seeing it. Create a knowledge article. Let's see. About this task. Create an article. Knowledge base, category, published, image type, source, attachment, link, text. Thought there was a way in here. Apologize for the scrolling. I know sometimes that makes you a little nauseous. And there is a lag and latency, not only on my computer, but when we get to the streaming. Let's see if there's something in the community. I swear I've seen this before. You can get a knowledge article without signing on. I thought we'd do that on high. Public knowledge article. Public knowledge article redirecting log page. Public knowledge article. Right now, public knowledge article can be accessed by outside ServiceNow. I want to create a new field. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at a knowledge article. Log into my developer instance. You can find a developer instance of your own over here at developer.servicenow.com. And not only will you find free personal developer instance, you will find the scripting API, you will find links to meetups, you will find links to videos. We do a live coding happy hour, which we will be doing today at 4:30 Eastern time in the US, where Dave Slusher, Josh Narius, and I sit down and try and solve a problem. I am going to be building on to the Amazon Dash button that I started, I think it was end of November, mid-November, somewhere around there. Started an application where I could push a dash button and we'll end up with a record in ServiceNow. Now we're going to take action on that dash button and tie it into some integrations and make things happen. So that'll be a lot more fun. Join us if you can. Go over to developer.servicenow.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, ServiceNow Dev Program, I believe it is. And you can find us there. Get notified as that happens. Okay, knowledge. Time is flying by again today. Knowledge, articles, create, renew, all. Let's go to all. This is a personal developer instance, so it's got some demo data on it that I'm going to take advantage of. Very, very handy. Take a look at this. Is there or is there not a public field on here? Published, valid to, short description, display attachment, workflow, parent. Maybe configure form layout. Let's take a look at what fields we have on there. Flagged, roles, parent, public. I love how it says safety 1 is the current application when it is not the current application. Oh, now it is. Is the word public on here anywhere? Published. No, public is not on there anywhere. Although roles, you may be able to do the knowledge base, not the category. Do categories, I forgot, do categories now have user criteria? Knowledge, homepage, administration, knowledge bases, ratings. I guess I can find out by drilling into one of these things, right? Go back to the article. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday, or if you're watching this on another day, hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Okay, open record. Knowledge categories. Your related lists. Okay, it's not on a category by category basis. So my answer to this is no, because I know you can take a knowledge base, and knowledge bases have user criteria defined against them. So if I take the IT one, you could take the related list of, come on, slow browser, take a drink. Can read and can contribute are based off of user criteria. And you should be able to take this and say, role includes, I believe it's SNC external, not read only. No. Public. Yes, public. Okay. So, download, no. View, yes. Hi, Robin. Don't know of a way to download the articles, but you might want to look into making them available publicly by using a user criteria. Time to get a link. This one I should just have as a macro. It comes up so often. User criteria migration? No. How about define a user criteria? Categories, items. Wait a minute. That's service catalog categories. For a minute, I thought maybe I missed it. Selecting user criteria for a knowledge base. Applying user criteria. Certainly. Got to be in here somewhere. Knowledge management. We'll use this link. Looks good. User criteria on the knowledge base to make the content public. Add the role here. Create a user criteria called public with the role public and add that to the knowledge base related list can read. Now they should be able to reference and read the information directly from ServiceNow without a login. By the way, if someone downloads content, it means it will show up somewhere, sometime as stale content. Keeping it in the platform ensures currency, recency. I don't know what the right word there is, so we'll go with that. I don't mean currency like money. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining. It is 1/2 the hour. I do this for about an hour. It is Friday, the 12th of January, 2018. You know what? Let's go to the inbox. Stuck with coding part, please help. Real quick look at this one. Stop it, hoverovers. Hoverovers get annoying. Requirement. When the case is in pending submitter, status/chevron, when the duration type field should capture the difference between start clock and stop clock. When it's in pending, then the duration type should... I'm writing a business rule. Metric type, submitter. I'm going to leave that one alone. My brain can't wrap my head around the requirement right now. Okay, some recent replies, workflow and service catalogs. For the software field, create a glide list variable and catalog item. Very good suggestions. I like it. The community is full of smart people. Need to import bulk attachments to incident table. Varun has responded already very quickly. Hello, Chuck. Actually, the application is shut down now, and all the tickets data they have given me in Excel. Attachment data was shared on the server, so I downloaded the complete attachment data on my desktop now. Now I need to import the attachments now in the required table. Attachment name is the same as incident number for the old application. Okay, do you have the old, is it incident number, ticket number? What do you call it? Incident number. The old incident number recorded in a field somewhere in ServiceNow so that you can match up the data. If so, I'd still steer you towards the REST API for attachments to get the information uploaded. How much data are we talking about? Boom. Okay, next one. Positive feedback. Someone give me a like on something. Workflow and service catalogs. Very nice. Thank you very much. Peter Halsema. I used to know a Craig Halsema. Different delegates for ITSM versus HR. This is an old thread 2 years ago. Someone's coming back to my account. Chuck, is there already some more information available regarding different delegates between ITSM and HR? Not that I know. Haven't heard, but I don't deal with those too much. If they're doing delegation, it's my understanding, and I'm going to put in parentheses, which is often, which is occasionally, not often. Incorrect. Occasionally is another one of those words I just can never spell right. I never remember which letters are double and which ones aren't. No double S. They both use the same delegation feature of the platform underneath. What's the business requirement here? Why do you need different delegation for each one? Okay, how can I display and modify the records followers? Marat has asked a question to a rather old issue and said, see the record feeds? How do I find out who's following these? That's actually quite easy. I'm going to comment, and from my instance, go to live feed. There it is. Do you want to leave this page? Yes, I want to leave this page. Another thing you might want to be aware of is Knowledge is coming up. I'm going to put that up there on the screen real quick while this is coming up. Knowledge is our big conference. If you haven't heard of that, I'm sure you probably have if you've watched this video or any others. And I believe this is the last day for early bird pricing. So if you want to save a few $100 on the registration fee, go over to knowledge.servicenow.com and sign up. Don't forget, if you want to have anything to do with CreatorCon, get into any sessions, get into any labs, check that box that says CreatorCon. It is absolutely free, but without that checkbox, you don't get in. Even though you paid the same price as the guy next to you, check the checkbox and register for that. Then at least you will be able to you have the option of seeing those. So please, please, please check the checkbox as you register. The conference is great for everyone in your organization that has anything and everything to do with ServiceNow. Developers, architects, developer admins, team leads, CIOs, it's everybody. There's something there for everyone. I encourage you to go check it out, get signed up, register, save yourself a couple $100 and get there. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of learning, a lot of long days. I am already ramping up. I've got some toys that came in the mail this week that I am turning into a lab. I am coordinating with other people in our organization about a live session. We will be doing Tech Now live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, building an application in front of your eyes, similar to what we did last year, but I think we've got a little different spin on it that you're going to enjoy. So that's still formulating. We've got all the speaker presentations mapped out. It's just a big time. We are. It's hard to believe that it seems like May is such a long way away, but it's not. It is less than 4 months from now, and it is going to come up quickly. I'm trying to stay ahead of it because I know there are a lot more things coming up in Q1 that are making a big wow out of this. All right, let's go back to the main screen. And under here, he's saying, when I click record feeds, I see some of the records that are being followed in live feed. I click one of these, and up here in the corner, I can see who is following this. So I'm going to do a quick screen grab of that section and just respond back. It says, if you click any of the records, you will see the followers in the upper right corner, like this. Post that. And one other thing I want to do with this, because I think he replied somewhere else. I want to reference this one, so bring it out into its own separate tab. And then go to the inbox, this one, where Pradeep mentioned me. You get following, you get this, and same question. So I'm going to say, I should have really responded to this one because I should have responded to the main thread. This was a response. If you open up, here's another community tip. If you open an existing thread, say even one that's been answered before, and you ask a question, a follow-on question, or a new question, make sure that it's relevant to that thread, because the only people that are going to see it are the people that have participated in that thread. If you post it as a new question, you have a better chance of it showing up at the top of the unanswered list, and more eyeballs will see it, better chance of getting answered. Otherwise, it could be, you know, all of 2 people that participated on this thing several years ago that you're not going to get the best results out of that. So if you want a better chance of getting your question seen and answered, put it in a new thread. If it's not germane, if it's not part of that existing discussion, just jumping up and saying, hey, I have this issue too, that's different than saying, you know, hey, we're working on this workflow, and oh, by the way, I have a business rule question that's kind of the same. Ask the business rule question in another thread. But please only post it once. I have seen people put it in developer community. I've seen put it in instance help. I've seen them put it in platform, and they think, oh, if I spread it around, then more people will see it. That actually gets terribly confusing, because as someone trying to answer that, I don't know which one to target. It's hard to figure out which one to answer. And as somebody looking for the answer later, they're going to see the same thing 3 times and go, well, none of them are answered. Why is it on here 3 times? So please don't post more than once. You may, if you post it in the wrong area and somebody says this really doesn't belong here, kindly delete it and put it in the right place. Hopefully they do recommend the right place. Okay, how do we prevent rows removed from constraint? I'm still working on that one. He came back with a tip or a suggestion that he tried something, it didn't work. Field encryption in ServiceNow. Let's take a look at this one. 6 months ago. Can anyone suggest, please, how to encrypt a layer? And Pratap, who is not the original person, this is a case of where they're posting something on a closed thread, but let's see if it's relevant. I have implemented encrypted text field in my instance and was able to limit the users to view the fields by adding them with roles assigned in the encryption context. So encrypted context fields, real quick background on this. Encrypted text fields, if you use the field encryption, it's on board and you create contexts. Contexts are kind of like the keys, and then you grant people by role who has access to those keys. His question is there any workaround approach where users without encryption context can at least view fields in which their own personal information, i.e. email ID is encrypted field, user A? That kind of defeats the purpose, but you may be able to give them, I think this was a Kingston feature. Let me look at, I don't even know if I have the plugin turned on here. Contextual search, system UI, I don't have the plugin turned on. I've got about 20 minutes left. Let's see if I can step away from this long enough to turn on the encrypted text plugin. Plugins are under system definition. I am going to look for the one that says encrypted text. I wiped this instance a few days ago, a week or so ago. So some of the plugins that I previously turned on are not available. And look for something that contains encrypt. We're not turning on edge encryption. We're turning on encryption support, which I believe turns on encryption core. So right click, activate. It will turn on encryption core. Go for it. Go back to the community, see what's happening. Haven't even refreshed the home screen in quite some time. Transform script, related list not working. I'll take a look at transform script. How to set active workflow. How to set active workflow. Copy additional comments from task to RITM. That's been answered several times. Please remember, before you post a question, search for the answer first. That's just good community etiquette on any forum or community, is look first, then ask. I know that one's been answered many, many times. If I can get to it, I will search and post links to the other results. Like, hey, look over there. Populate data on change of other field. Is that sort of the point of an on-change client script? Global search not working. Comments not visible to other users. Okay, lots of new stuff in here. Wow. Some have been hanging around for a while. Gotta wonder if I'm the only person on here today. Good morning, Chuck. Jay checking in from Chicago. Stay warm, Jay. Understand it's still pretty chilly up there. Stu. I'll be showing up in Vegas on Sunday and planning to take training or boot camp slot. Do you have any recommendation to pursue? I want to dig deeper in widgets and development. I'm assuming, Stu, you mean widgets as in service portal widgets? If that's the case, yes, there is a new service portal curriculum for developers about service portal widgets. Absolutely. There's also the classic, been around since I think 2013 class on app creation, which will take you start to finish through the building of an application in its entirety. Won't dig too deeply into the, thanks, we're dealing with a little bit of latency here. Won't dig too deeply into Service Portal itself. I think we do a brief touch on it as how to expose your application in Service Portal. But for building the widgets, well, why don't I look here? Because I'm almost certain it's a published ServiceNow.com. It's under training products. I can't remember where it is now. I think the page changed slightly since I last looked. It's probably going to be very tiny, tiny font. Let's blow that up. Come on. The animations kill me, especially when going over the web. Here's a tip. Don't put animations and videos in your PowerPoint if you're going to be doing this on WebEx or GoToMeeting or whatever. Services and support. Training, there it is. I know I said I wouldn't answer any questions online if that come from the chat. This is a special thing. Learning paths, find a course. There we go. It just scrolls down. Okay, filler training, ServiceNow fundamentals, certified sysadmin, certified advanced, hardware asset, ServiceNow, project portfolio scripting. There's scripting fundamentals. If you haven't taken that, I recommend it. That gets you into JavaScript and learns how to do the API and server side versus client side. Application development fundamentals. Oh. They changed the name of that one. Here, look at that. Next. We even have pagination on this thing. Cool. Service portal administration. That's one of them. Come on. I know it's in your domain separation, orchestration. Fine. We'll do. I think service portal administration was getting it around the designer. Rats. I know I saw it. Stu, let me send an email to my coworkers. I'm going to put a task on my other computer real quick so that I don't forget your question. And I'll need a way to respond to you. Stu, do me a favor and just send a message, even better. That way I won't forget, and I have your address. just send me an email, chuck.tomasi@servicenow.com. Last name's Tomasi. If you send me an email, I will see it, I will remember it, and I will get you the information on Service Portal curriculum. It could be that they're working on that right now, and it will be rolled out at Knowledge, which is a common practice. So good question. Thought I had an answer for you. Apologize that I don't have it on my fingertips. Okay, where was I? Transform script in related list not working. You are very welcome, sir. Happy to help. It's like a walk-in. You know, you can walk up to my office. This is as close as I'm going to get to being in your office. If you're watching this on the bus ride to work, if you're watching this on the bus ride home from work, I know this is kind of a weird time where I can catch a lot of people around the globe. Except for the people in Australia, unless they're up really late, which I think it's about 15 minutes to 1 a.m. Hi all, I have a form and related list on the form. I have a data source that includes all the fields of the main form and related list. After loading the data, I've created a transform map for the main form, and since I want to populate the related data, I've written an on-after transform script. However, I see the script is not working and does not insert the data into the related application. Here's the code. Do a new glide record on your table. IP address is source UIP. Third-party reference is target.sysid. Does target sysid exist at that point? I'd put some log statements in here to make sure that it works at that point. Hi, Vanessa. Have you done gs.info target.sysid? Did they say target ID or target sysid? They did do target.sysid equals plus target.sysid in your script to check if the target record actually has a sysid at the point where the on-after script is running. Sounds like you're doing the right thing. Logically, it should work. But we all know what my logic is worth. Every bit of money you're paying right now for it. How to set active workflow. I did the workflow inactive. How I set workflow as active because it's not showing in workflow editor. I'm assuming they just deactivated it. Plugin refreshed. Okay, we'll come back to the encrypted one that is in my inbox in just a minute. Workflow. Let's first make sure that somebody did not respond to this. This is a pretty easy low-hanging fruit. I want to set active art person, Michael Fry. And 47 was just recently responded. So under workflow versions, I believe you can, where do they deactivate it? That's the interesting part. I don't think there is an active flag on this thing, is there? Let's look at list layout. I'm not going to do the form. I'm in global, darn list v2. I've gotten so used to list v3. Active, okay. So I recommend navigate to workflow versions, add the active field to the list layout, or personalize the list. Personalize the list, yeah. To add active, set the active field from false to true. Boink. Try that. Okay, back to the encrypted text question. Is there a way to give somebody, if it's just theirs? And I thought, another question about user criteria. No, I'm sorry. Workflow context. I need to look at the record for, not workflow context. I just did workflow context, encrypted context. Keep me straight here, people. I can't even type encrypted today. Encrypted. We haven't gotten to live coding happy hour. That's the party at the end of the week. Let's refresh that. I thought the plugin should have done that. Come on. Encryption. Let's look for context then. Content management, context, search context, system UI, help context. Where's the encryption stuff? Huh. Did I not get the right thing? Plugins. Every once in a while, that little menu filter thing doesn't do its job. And I haven't figured out what the recipe is for that yet. Coming up to the top of the hour. Let's see if we can get this one answered before I have to go. Lots of stuff going on today, including a webinar at 8 a.m. Pacific time about CreatorCon Challenge. There is $1 million online. If you want to be a startup and you want to base your product on ServiceNow, we have money for you. Be sure to register. Go over to developer.servicenow.com. Check out the CreatorCon Challenge link. Register for that. Watch the webinar and go, hey, I could do that and possibly make a boatload of money. We are putting up money for venture capitalism for startup companies. We did this last year with $500,000. And this year we are giving away twice that much money for these startup companies. I encourage you to take a look at that if you have any interest in being a developer and possibly starting your business around ServiceNow. Where was I going? Oh yes, encryption. Did I forget to enable a plugin? Encryption core, encryption support, single context task, encryption demo. I don't want a demo. I want, maybe I need to put encrypt a field first? Fine. Let's just do some experimentation. This is where Chuck has no idea what's going on. This becomes more like a live coding happy hour. We're going to try stuff. This is half the fun of having a personal developer instance, is just try it. It's low risk. It doesn't mean anything. I'm not going to blow up the world by making an encrypted field. Now let's go to configure. I don't know if you can make an encrypted field via form design. Let's find out. Encrypted string field. Probably should have followed their use case a little closer. I think it was on sysuser and they had an email ID. Field types. Encrypted. Encrypted text. How about that? We're going to put an encrypted text field right here on the incident form using the form designer. Very easy drag and drop layout. Click the cog. Give it a nice name. Call it email ID. Email ID. Very nice. Kind of surprised that I'm in the global space and it's letting me do that. Anyway, save that. It did not let me do that. Something's up. Something's up. Reload. I should have gotten an error for that. Let's see if we can do this through form layout. And we will give it a U underscore name this time. Is encrypted in here. Encrypted text is there. We'll call this email ID and it's going to call it whatever it wants. Yeah, we'll stick with a small. Hey, the button is green. Never noticed that before. Did it work? I added it. Let's place it on the form where I wanted it before. I am getting hungry. Underneath configuration item. Hit save. Saving form section. I close. And no email ID. Interesting. Why can't I create an email ID on this? Fun stuff. Gets crazier by the minute. We're going to go to configure dictionary. Whoop. Can we create a dictionary entry? Somewhere there's an error being thrown. I'm not seeing it. Incident, type, encrypted text, column label, email ID, email ID, that's good. Max length, 40. Active function, read-only, mandatory, display value. No, we don't need any of that. We just need to create a field. Already exists in the table or a table extended from it. Invalid insert. Okay, so it is out there. So maybe incident open. Maybe it created the field, but I just can't. Something got half done. Let's find out. That is unread. But I wanted to get to, where was it? Inbound action to trim inbound mail. Me. At this point. Off at the end, there is a very clearly documented property, and I did not find it because our documentation is not what it used to be. The community is not what it used to be. And somewhere in here, if I look at the, let's open this up because I need to do something on the article itself. I said, hey, I'm getting, every time somebody responds to an email, it would have the content that they replied, but all of the legacy content below it. And that property wasn't configured properly to chop that all off. Somebody steered me towards one of the properties. Wasn't working quite right. I had put in, because we have this gargantuan underscore new line thing as the separator between new content and old content. Valor, who is still out there, yeah, bless, I'll probably see him at Knowledge as well. I said, for what it's worth, the email property for reply emails, discard everything below this text. That did the trick, but I had to configure text with the proper delimiter and it worked fine. So what I should do, and I don't see it on here for whatever reason, maybe it's because, well, I'm still the employee here. I never saw that activity branch on there before. I don't have a way to mark this as correct. I can't mark my own answer as correct. I can't mark anybody's answer as correct, unfortunately. A reference to an XKCD comic, number 208. Wow, this is an old one. I have to take a look. It's Friday. I'm being distracted. It's going to happen. If you're not familiar with XKCD, very funny, very nerdy comic. Okay, let me blow that up for you so you can read it. Whenever I learn a new skill, I concoct elaborate fantasy scenarios where it lets me save the day. Oh no, the killer must have followed her on vacation. But to find them, we'd have to search through 200 megabytes of emails looking for something formatted like an address. It's hopeless. Everybody stand back. I know regular expressions. Swoop. Pearl. Swish. Hooray, we're saved. I like it. I think that's a good place to end today's broadcast. On a humorous note, I wish you the best of weekends, and I look forward to seeing you again on Monday. I will only be doing a Monday show next week. Wait, when does my flight leave on Tuesday? Let me think about that. Maybe Tuesday. I have to check. But we do have our annual sales kickoff next week, and I won't be around for the remainder of the week. So it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, because I don't have my green screen with me. I don't have a portable green screen that I'm taking to a hotel room, and broadcast at this hour would be questionable. So probably not happening Tuesday, definitely not happening Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But I will look forward to seeing you Monday, should the stars align and everybody gets along and world peace and all that good stuff. So until then, take care. Thank you. Don't forget to go to developer.servicenow.com. Let me just put these up real quick before I sign off. Developer.servicenow.com. Get yourself a free developer instance. Go through the learning paths, learn more, ask questions on the community, what I've been doing here, trying to answer them. Not very successful today. Got a couple of snide comments in there. We'll see how that works. Read a few funny comics. I may jump back in. There's a lot of content you have to do. Oh, the other thing over at developer.servicenow.com that I forgot to say is, I mentioned it, links to YouTube. You can subscribe to that channel, Live Coding Happy Hour. I've also got a new series that started up called Tech Shorts. I'm building an application from start to finish in little 3-minute chunks. You'd be amazed at what you can do in 3 minutes. Create a field, do a UI policy, business rule, notification. It's not digging into every checkbox in every form and every field and every option. It's showing you, look, this is how quickly I can get this done. And it honestly is a real application that I'm building on the fly. I believe we released episode 6 this past week. I am scripting number 17. So it's going to be a weekly series that's coming out, and I've got about 30 of these in the hopper. Some are more solidified in content than others, but I look forward to seeing that. Also, don't forget, get yourself over to knowledge.servicenow.com and register. We want to see you over there at Knowledge. Have I missed anything else? Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I bid you fond farewell. Oops, next one. My name is Chuck Tomasi, the ServiceNow guy with the red bow tie, and a special thank you to my wife for doing a quick repair yesterday on the bow tie. There's only one, and if it breaks, I guess I'm incognito. Nobody will recognize me. So take care. I am going to sign out, wish you a fond farewell, and have a great, great weekend. Bye now. Put that up and play that.